Okay, advisory board, give this video a shot, and maybe this is the way to do things instead of trying to get a meeting. I sent you the pages out of the student manual that pertain to the ePortfolio, and that is what you're seeing on the screen here. So if you take a look at those documents as I go through the video, that might be useful. So on this first page, which I think is page 16, it tells the kids about the task, all right, an ongoing electronic document of your entire senior project. They will begin first semester and review during second semester, so that's what we're doing, we're reviewing it. And it says follow the recommended due dates or timeline, and we're going to use Google Sites to make it. So the reality is that probably most kids try to put together the ePortfolio in the last month. I know I've gotten a lot of inquiries and questions and things like that about it more recently. So on this page is a link to, I know it says template here in the address, but it's sort of like a model. And I'm going to go to that, and that link has sort of the basic requirements. It's not, a super example. I didn't really want it to be. I wanted people to, students to sort of make their own. And so we'll come back to that in a second. So let's go back to what's in the manual. So the next page, I'm going to scroll down here to page 17. This is what you have to be sort of had next to you as you review them, I believe. And so it's the portfolio checklist, and you're really just concerned here with this column. This was when it was suggested that they should be adding these things to the ePortfolio. So a home page, inviting, creative home page, navigation bar, table of contents of your ePortfolio, so that should all be there. A copy of the approved proposal, mentor photograph and bio, and that should be a separate page. And then they should have a table of their mentor meeting logs, and the minimum here is 5. They have to have evidence of 5 meetings, okay, and a photograph of their student and mentor together. So that's really, all this could be on one page, it could be 2 pages. Sometimes the student and mentor photograph they put in another photojournal section of their project. They should have time logs. These should equal 15 hours. So it would be a problem if they did not. Documentation of learning. So if these are just some examples that most kids, I'm going to do photographs, videos, blogs, journals, other documents, and we talked about this during the proposal, saying that how can they document their learning? How can they really show what they learned in other ways than these? And whatever they had in their proposal, they should have in their ePortfolio or evidence of that. The product reflection is a 500-word essay, and acknowledgments is a thank you page, and the link, you should be able to, that's something for them to do to make sure that their link that they provide us is public and not private. If it's private, we wouldn't be able to view it yet, so that would be a problem. Okay, the next page is the questions that they need to respond to for the 500-word essay. And so these are the list of questions, and you'll get a sense of what 500 words looks like, and these should be read. Now the English teachers, some of them use this as an assignment in class. I can't guarantee that all of them do. I think they all should, but they don't necessarily do that. But what you're looking for is, first of all, make sure that the essay is there. Make sure that it was approached with some sincerity, I guess is the word I'm looking for. and a direct response to 4 or more of these questions. So that should be readily apparent as you read that. So here's the rubric. All right, so as you grade these, your options, for the proposal were approved, not approved, need revisions, whatever. And for the portfolio rubric, there'll be distinguished, proficient, competent, below standard. Okay. So the first thing, this is a change that we got from feedback from last year. Completeness. All elements on ePortfolio checklists are required and need to be present before ePortfolio will be reviewed and graded. Okay, so right off the bat, if they're missing something, it's not going to be reviewed. And then I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you should be familiar with what a distinguished portfolio looks like. Entries are elaborate, error-free, looks fairly professional in appearance, or it's not messy. Personal pride, creativity, those things would make it a distinguished portfolio. Okay, I'll just jump down here to below standard. Many responses lack elaboration, a lot of errors. It's a mess, and there's just no, it's total lack of effort on their part. Okay, and that is the last page in the manual that pertains to the ePortfolio. So those are the pages that I sent you. All right, so let me go over to the link here of the archery project. And so I'll go through the checklist again as we're looking at a portfolio. Let me just see how I'm doing on time here, because these have to be okay. So we have our home page, and this could be more inviting, but I got a graphic here, I got an introduction, I got an icon. Those are some things that they can do. I have some links right from my introduction. So then the proposal page is basically cutting and pasting their proposal. Now some students will add it as an attachment. They might just have the word proposal up here and then add it as an attachment to view or download a Word document. That's acceptable. I try to tell kids that this is much more accessible. Mentor bio, got some links if possible. It's hard to get kids to be aware that that makes something that much more depth, gives it depth. Picture of the mentor, all right. Mentor meeting logs, of course theirs would be filled in up to 5 required meetings. Time logs, again, filled in, so this total time would equal 15 hours, but it should be something to this effect. I really try to get them to use tables. Not all of them do. Sometimes they just list, or sometimes I've seen kids actually insert calendars. Photo journal. One thing that I really try to push with the photo journals when I'm working with kids is captions. There should be some description of what they're looking at, and kids don't always do that. The video journal, they can easily insert YouTube videos. Whether or not they do or need to really depends on their project. The reflection would have the essay, and the acknowledgments would be a thank you place. All right, so that's typically how it's organized. All right, so it's really easy to click through and check and make sure they got everything. There's some other things I want to say in regard to this, but I'm running into my 10-minute time limit for uploading videos to YouTube, so I'm going to make this part 1, and there'll be a shorter part 2 video for you to view as well. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.